Hello everyone, it's Mr. Pang, and after my Constructors' Championship predictions yesterday, which predicts where all the teams will finish, I'm doing the Drivers' Championship predictions. So just to recap the beginning of yesterday's video, these are the teams and drivers right there. So pause it now to read through if you want to, because I'm going to take these down now. And of course, if you forgot, this is where I think the teams will finish, just to give you an idea roughly where the sort of drivers will be. So this is sort of the bottom team, the midfield, and the top teams. Basically, it's three classes. It's a field of three classes. There's Williams, the other, well, six teams, but which is called the midfield for some reason, although 18th and 17th isn't really midfield. And yeah, so I'll say back markers, midfield, and top teams, or front runners. So yeah, I'll take all of them down now. And now we'll get into the Drivers' Championship predictions. And in last place, as it's the first year for him, and he's a pay driver, and he finished second in F2 last year. Pretty weak field. It's Nicholas Latifi. Not a big surprise. And 19th, George Russell, the other Williams driver. Not much to say, really. Haven't got a lot of faith either. I've just got no faith. I just don't think they'll be that good this year. Because, they've been so bad the last few years. I just don't see any reason for that to be different this year. See, unfortunately, Williams, you'll be the bottom two. You're 19th and 20th, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's just not going to be a good year. In 18th place, this might surprise a few people, because most people I saw Romain Grosjean 18th, but I didn't agree. I put Antonio Giovinazzi in 18th, because I just don't rate him that highly. He's good in qualifying, but I reckon he'll win the qualifying battle against Kimi Raikkonen. But in the race battle, in the races, he's just nowhere. He'd sometimes qualify in 9th or 10th place and finish 14th or 15th. He's just nowhere in the races. He might improve a bit, but I just don't rate him that highly, really. Sorry about that. And in 17th, this might surprise another few people. Kevin Magnussen. As he's just a massive hothead, he just drives into a lot of people, and he has picked up a bit, but he also does crash a lot, and he is a bit dirty too, so I think he'll get a lot of penalties. So yeah, that's all I have to say about K-Mag. In 16th, this is also another pretty bold prediction. Pierre Gasly. I know, it's a tough one. Pierre Gasly 16th, when he did pretty darn well in the second half of 2019, trying to prove that Red Bull were wrong to drop him. Well, Fiat and his teammate and all the other drivers who have put between him and Gasly, or between Fiat and Gasly, just so you know, I think we'll take quite a big step up, and that's why I'll push Gasly down to 16th, and it will prove that Red Bull were right to drop him, as he was terrible at Red Bull. So yeah, in 15th, Kimi Raikkonen. Not much to say. He is getting quite old, but he's still decent. Former world champion. But it's just that he'll be a bit bottlenecked by the car, I think, being 9th, of course. So I'm surprised. I think most of you are surprised I haven't put him lower, knowing how low I've put the car. But yeah, Kimi, you'll be P15, I'm afraid. And Lance Stroll, I've got in 14th for Racing Point, although it's 5th in the Constructors. I know. Hear me out. Pay driver again, not that good. He's terrible at qualifying. He's good in the races, but his qualifying just lets him down. I think he was out in Q1. Out of the 21 races we had last year, I think at least 15 times he was out in Q1, which is just not good enough. When Perez was only out in Q1 probably 3 or 4 times, if that. So yeah, his qualifying just holds him back, and I don't know, he does wait a bit long at overtakes as well. He's good at starts sometimes. A lot of the time he's pretty good at starts. But yeah, Lance Stroll, you're 14th, mate, I'm afraid. In 13th place, this is where I put Roman Grosjean 14th. Sorry, 13th. I know a lot of people I've seen having P18 ahead of the two Williams. Again, and some of you people who've had P20. I just don't agree. I think he'll have a resurgence this year, and he won't crash in the pit lane or crash anymore. And I actually think he'll have some decent results. I genuinely do. Because if you look at the last 2 years, although Magnussen's beaten him in the championship, if you take out the DNFs and if you take out their reliability failures, it's actually Grosjean who's done quite a bit better. Which is why I actually think Grosjean will beat him. So in 12th place, Danny Kvyat. He is a bit of a torpedo, but he does make those good lunges. Sort of not in that sort of stretching, as in sort of a late lunge, sort of where he overtakes someone at the last minute. Sort of a late lunge, they call that. And then, see, I think that will do him some good. In 11th place, Esteban Ocon, year out of F1. I think if he was in F1 last year, I probably would have put him top 9 or even maybe top 8 at a stretch. Actually, I'd say probably top 9 or 10 easily. But I think he was probably hurt by a year out last year, so yeah. All I've got to say really. I think the car won't be that good either, so that will hold him back as well. In 10th place, just beating his teammate by 1 place, you guessed it, Daniel Ricciardo, the Honey Badger. Yes, I know, he's a good driver, but I don't know, I think the car will again hold him back a little bit. As well as Esteban, I'm afraid. I think they're both good drivers, I think Ricciardo should be 8th or 9th, but what will push him back is sort of Esteban sort of going for too many moves and maybe taking Daniel out in a few races, which will cost him points and therefore a couple positions maybe. In 9th place, despite having best car in midfield probably by a quarter of a second or maybe even half a second at some races, it's Lando Norris. As much as I like the guy, he's such a funny guy, such a good guy, because of his bad luck, and I don't know, I think he's a little bit overrated to be honest, and I think 9th place is just about right for him, just because they got driver ahead of him, is still in a little bit less of a good car, but is much better at managing his tyres and making his way through the field, and is still decent at quali. So yeah, also Norris is very good at quali. He beat Sainz 11-10 last year in qualifying, but in the races he was just not that good, which holds him back a bit. And yeah, so in 8th place I put Perez. Put Checo in 8th, because again he's known for managing his tyres well and making moves when they matter. He's just the most consistent, reliable driver in the midfield, I'd say. He just gets the job done. Not much more to say about it really. And Formula 1.5 Drivers' Champion for the 2nd year in a row, Carlos Sainz. He was so dominant in the midfield last year. He got 96 points. He beat both Alexander Albon and Pierre Gasly, who are both at Red Bull for 9 races of the 21 and the other 12 respectively. He still beat both of them, which is some feat in a car which was nowhere near as fast. So yeah, I'll have to put him Formula 1.5 champion again. In 6th place, as I said, I put Red Bull down because of Alex Albon. He is in 6th place. I just don't think he's that good. I think he's another one of those overrated drivers, and yeah, I think he'll prove that Red Bull put him in. I think he'll prove to Red Bull they put him in there too early, and the car's also not made for him. It's completely made for Max Verstappen to do well. I think he'll get a few podiums here and there. I just don't think he'll do that well. I reckon he didn't get a podium in the second half of last year. I reckon he'll get 2 or 3 this year, maybe. If the car's decent, he might get a few podiums, but not many. That's all I've got to say. And in 5th place, like a lot of people have put, Sebastian Vettel. I'm sorry, mate, but as much as I have a soft spot for you, Seb, as much as I want you to do well, hell, even if you have more races like Singapore last year, or even Russia, where you drove very well until your power unit gave up on you, I don't see any reason that you can't finish top 3. I really don't see any reason why you can't get a top 3 finish. However, head over heart, I don't think he'll have that many of the Singapores or Russias from last year. I reckon he'll sort of, like, over the 20, well, it's not 20 races, we'll have probably about 16 races, I predict. I reckon we'll have one race where you'll say, there he is, the Sebastian Vettel we know and love, the 4-time world champion driving, is back, there he is. He's still got it. And another 3 or 4 races where you'll be like, how on earth is this guy a 4-time world champion? Like, how has this guy ever won 4 Grand Prix, let alone 4 championships? Yeah, so I think that'll be most of the season, and also reliability might let him down in a few races as well. Knowing Ferrari, that will probably happen. So, unfortunately, Seb, you're 5th. And in 4th place was a tough one between 3rd and 4th. It was between Verstappen and Bottas. I reckon they'll be very, very close between the two. But I've decided, since Verstappen's just improving year on year, and the Red Bull car looks decent as well, and Mercedes predicting not to be quite as dominant as it was last year, I don't think Bottas will be quite as good as he was last year, because he was just so good, like, for his normal season. I've decided to put Verstappen ahead of Bottas, so I've decided to go with Max Verstappen in 3rd and Bottas in 4th. Which is because, simply, I think Verstappen with his skill, he does crash sometimes, but I think he is improving. You saw last year, and most of 2018 he was very good. And I just think he'll keep raising the bar. I think he'll be pushed harder for that 3rd place in the championship. And I think he'll just narrowly get it. But I think he'll just about pit Bottas to that 3rd place. And pushing Bottas in 4th. So top 2, Leclerc and Hamilton. Who will the world champion be? And you've guessed, Mercedes cap again. And being British as well. I'm going Charles Leclerc in 2nd place, and Lewis Hamilton will equal Michael Schumacher's record of 7 world championships. Yes, I know, boring, I know, 4 titles in a row, 6 in 7 years. He's best driver in the best team, like most harmony in that team, the best car. I see absolutely no reason why he can't win the title, unless it goes catastrophically wrong. Which, no, Mercedes, it almost certainly won't. Let's be honest, and knowing Lewis, again, knowing his luck, it probably won't again. So yeah, I really just cannot see past Lewis Hamilton winning the title once again this year. And I reckon he'll take title number 7 in 2nd or 3rd to last race. So I reckon he'll take it with a race or 2 to go. That's how dominant I think he always seems to do it with 2 or 3 races to go most years when it all goes fine. I don't think that'll be much different, except I think Leclerc will, if some races, give him a little run for his money. I think Leclerc will win quite a few races, and so will Verstappen. Even Bottas and Vettel, I think, will win a few races. But yeah, I think Lewis will just, with his consistency, just edge them all out, really. Or not edge them all out, he'll come out on top. I think Vettel, even 5th, will win a couple races here and there. Bottas, I reckon, will win 3 or 4. Verstappen, I also have winning about 3 races. Leclerc, I reckon, will win 4 or 5, and Hamilton will win the rest, probably about 10, I predicted. So I'll change it to around 16. So I reckon Vettel will win 2. Bottas, I reckon, will win also 2, and Verstappen will win 3, I think. Leclerc will win 4. So how many is that? 4, 11. So I reckon Hamilton will win about 6, 5 or 6. But I reckon he should have won 9 or 10 for the full season. So yeah, that's it for these championship predictions, and I'll put them on screen right there. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video, and peace out, and remember, that's paying. So yeah, see you in my next video. Goodbye.